when you're first starting off developing activities, find other activities that you know are successful activities, that are good activities, solid activities, and use those as models. You don't feel like you have to be Michelangelo from the start. You can take ideas from other texts and modify them to suit your purposes. So if you have a favorite activity that is going to fit with you think is going to fit with your objective, and the way it's laid out, well, maybe not laid out, but the way it progresses is the way that you're envisioning your activity progressing, go ahead and use it. We try not to reinvent the wheel whenever we can. Yeah, that when you know something is successful, something is solid and good, then you might as well just use that, and you don't feel like you have to go out and create something new every time you write an activity. What I was going to say was that for new writers, don't expect things to get done really quickly. You can't fall into the habit of pencil whipping activities. Just putting things down on paper without a lot of thought and passing it off to another person, it's going to come back and your feedback is going to be not very good. So you really need to spend time to think through it through, and try to think of it from some different angles. Think of it from the instructor's viewpoint, and also think of it from the student's viewpoint. If you can write the activity with those different angles in mind, those different perspectives, then I think your activity will be stronger. But even though you think you have a strong or pretty good activity, I would recommend that you let it sit, put it down and let it sit for a day or so, some time. Just because you've got your vision down on paper, it may not be finished. If you finish it on a Friday and you have a weekend and you come back on Monday, pick it up again and read it through, do the activity as if you were a student, and you may see things in it that you want to change. Most of the time you do, because the first time through you may not realize that the way I've worded things here, it could have different interpretations, or this sentence here is a little confusing, or this word isn't really the precise word that I want to use. So it's really a good idea to let things sit for a little while after you feel like you've got your first draft of an activity, and come back to it, read through it again, and then go ahead and get feedback from other people. And then I would say that's a good technique for everyone in curriculum development, and something you've got to be able to do as a new curriculum developer. Once your activity has gone through peer review, and if it's something that has maybe something that's a little confusing, or what you think is maybe something new in it that you've never done before and you're not sure how it's going to play out in the classroom, then I recommend taking it to a group of students and actually trying it out in the classroom with a group of students. And I also recommend that as a writer, don't lead the class through your own activity. Hand your activity to another instructor and have them lead the class through the activity. Because I think if you do it yourself, then you kind of, in the back of your mind, you kind of know how it's supposed to go, and so that kind of influences the way you perceive the performance of the activity. But if you give it to somebody who's never done it before or hasn't really thought about it as deeply as you have, then you're going to see how it would really play out in the real classroom with another instructor.